Hi, I'm Katie Padiak, and this is Montessori Monday. On Mondays, I break down one concept in Montessori philosophy so you can understand what it means, and I'll give you some ideas about how you can add things to your home and your parenting to support this idea. This week, I'm talking about sensitive periods. So a sensitive period is a span of time during which a child is specifically attuned to their environment in search of acquiring a specific skill or trait. After this trait has been acquired, this child moves on to something new. And it's only during this very specific window that the child is very easily able to acquire this skill. There's an inner drive that opens the world to possibility for your child in the environment. And they're in constant search of that skill, of acquiring that skill and fulfilling the need that they have to learn more. So when the sensitive period is open, Dr. Montessori said it's like a light that shines on some objects, but not on others, making of them his whole world. You know that your child is in a sensitive period by the repetition of a very specific type of activity. That is usually your indication that your child is in that sensitive period of development. It's like they can't help but crave and seek that information in the world around them. So you can support your child during these periods, even though they're going to find this information in the world. You set up their environment. So you allow for these building and developing skills by giving them items that will help them in that development. So there's a sensitive period for order. So let's use that for example. A child in this period is going to spend a really long time lining things up all over the house. Maybe they line up all the shoes or their cars in a neat little rows everywhere. And during this organizing, if the child is uninterrupted, they're going to finish and move on to another activity, but they're solely focused on this thing. So when you observe this type of behavior, you could add toys that would support that, like building blocks, into their environment so they can practice lining things up, ordering them from largest to smallest, separating them into like piles, and it'll support that development for order. Dr. Montessori outlined 12 specific sensitive periods from birth to age 3, and a lot of these overlap and continue for many years in some cases. She discussed a really general timeline for the ages that most children are likely to experience these sensitive periods, but remember that not every child is the same. So if your child is not there at age 2, like she suggested they could be, just wait and give it time. This is a loose framework to kind of support the observations that we have. So once you know what to look for, you might notice it and help support your child. Check out the caption for the list of all 12 sensitive periods and follow me on my blog to find out more information. On to GenesisMontessoriConsulting.com.